Welcome to this edition of the Wonderbury podcast.
I'm Brian.
I'm Dave.
And you can find us online at wonderbury.com.
And I am D. Wonderly on Twitter.
Or I'm Brian Keysbury, anywhere the internet can be found.
You can leave us a comment anywhere. Any comment.
Literally
please.
Anywhere. You could leave one on Pornhub. I will find it.
So,
Not
two
really.
things to get out of the way first off on this episode before we go launching in. I would like to apologize for calling from the great beyond last week. That was... Watch the BTS for a full description. I just want to apologize for my shoddy mic work. That was
Happens.
really horrible, and I probably should have just said, screw it, we'll re-record, but we didn't, and so we have that. Second thing is that my tablet is unfortunately charging, so show notes off my phone this week. I apologize for that, too.
I go show notes off my phone every week, man.
Well, yes, but
No
yours
worries.
is... There's a lot less of you, yeah. So how was your week, bro?
Interesting. I bought a big-ass kite. It is...
Nice.
7 foot across. It showed up yesterday. Ooh. Christy wasn't home. Kid's not home. I got home from work. Got out early. Got home. Ordered some food, and I'm sitting on the couch, and I noticed this humongous box sitting in the corner. I'm like, oh, guess I'm gonna eat some food, and I'm gonna run down to the park. So I get, like, food shows up, I plow through it, eat it, get a drink, and I get my kite out, get it all put, like, ready to go, step out the door, and it's raining. Why, man?
7 foot across, huh?
Yep.
So when you do get some opportunity to go out there and fly it, get some video of that, man.
I am going to. I'm actually headed to my parents this weekend, and hopefully it's nice out. So.
Oh, nice. Zoo opens this weekend.
Oh.
It's supposed to be nice all weekend, at least in Fort Wayne, and your parents don't live too far out, so.
Yeah. They are in the only county in Ohio that gets Lake Michigan effect weather, though. So it is still wonky sometimes. That's
usually more concern in the wintertime than it is in the spring and summer.
Yeah.
So you should be all right.
Yeah, usually the rain stuff is dissipated by the time we get there.
Yeah. It should be good.
I'm excited to... I want to go to the beach on Lake Michigan, and I plan on somehow finagling some sort of camera onto the kite itself, whether it be my old phone or whatever. I'm going to figure something out, and I'm going to fly
Let me know when you do, and I might be able to zip tie my GoPro on it.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be really kind of cool.
I'd like to find a 3D camera. Get a 3D camera on it. That way you can
3D camera would be awesome.
Crazy VR video from a kite.
That would be awesome.
I think of crazy things, and I'm like, you know what would be even better? Let's do it in VR.
Yeah. Now, it looks like Mom's coming home tomorrow. So,
nice.
Yeah.
They get her all figured out?
Yeah, sort of. She's still aspirating a bit. So, but they have a feeding tube and system in, because she's going to have that anyway, because they're going to be doing, the radiation's going to be on her neck, so they need to have it in anyway because that much radiation that close, she won't be able to swallow, just because of how sore that's going to be for a couple months.
Yeah.
But no, surgery went real well, and they've been figuring everything else kind of out at the same time. But no, it's the doctor's real happy about what happened, and so it looks like hopefully she'll be coming home tomorrow. Is what they're talking. Tomorrow being Friday, so 2 days ago.
Nice.
So if all goes well, when you guys hear this, she'll be home and we'll be happy and it'll be nice. Yeah.
Did they use a tricorder?
No, they didn't use a tricorder, unfortunately. However, looks like that's actually could possibly be sort of an option in the not too distant future.
Or now?
I mean, this is it's a winning design, but
and I have the article pulled up because I wanted to remember which.
Yeah, you go ahead. Break that down. It'd be easier for you to do that than me.
Wanted to give a little backstory on the thing while I find the numbers. Or do you remember? Qualcomm Tricorder XPRIZE?
Yeah, so XPRIZE is a company that they give grants and prizes to advancements in tech, advancements in science. They have a whole category lines. It's pretty much a bunch of really rich people throwing money at really cool projects to ensure that it gets done, but they do it in a privatized setting versus a government setting. It's a really, really cool program. I encourage anyone to go look at what they have done, what they do. I had a friend who used to work with XPRIZE, and the stuff they do is really, really amazing.
It's amazing. They're gonna put people. They're gonna push us into Star Trek territory for sure. So with the Tricorder XPRIZE, their guidelines were to create a non-invasive sensor to get baseline health reports while comparing and contrasting those with an encyclopedia of as much medical information as they have, which is probably quite a lot at this point. They had to be able to diagnose 13 required medical conditions, and the scanner, their tricorder, had a 24-hour time period to be able to do that. Now the winners, awesomely enough, from a company called, or the team was just called Final Frontier Medical Devices. Apparently knocked it out of the park by creating the AI they used in their sensor was able to diagnose 34 different conditions and do it way before 24 hours.
Nice.
And according to the article, that puts us at having tricorders about 210 years ahead of schedule.
Nice.
That was my favorite part of that article.
210 years ahead of schedule. That is actually really phenomenal of what they managed to accomplish. They built a scanning device that could diagnose. That's a tricorder. They built a tricorder.
So no poking, no prodding, no fingers in your butt. Just
no, turn your head and cough.
God, I hope it makes a noise. I would be mildly disappointed if they're like, "Oh, you have cancer." Like, with it.
I'm sure with the name that they have and what seems to have motivated them, they probably have more than enough noises that come out of this thing.
Oh man.
No, that's crazy though. That is
right.
That is truly ground. Once again, science fiction sets a bar and science finds a way to catch up. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of, especially in the Star Trek world, Warning, we're going into Star Trek now.
Very, very much so.
Yeah. I mean, LaForge's glasses. or his visor.
You know,
It's I know you've said several times that Google Glass was close to that, but there's just so much more that visor does, though. But all they'd have to do, like the Spectrum stuff, we already have video that does Spectrum.
Yeah.
It would not be that hard to interlace in different spectrums, different everything into a visor. The technology's all there.
The technology's all there. The batteries are what's holding things up. Like that is the biggest issue with any device currently.
That's batteries need to catch up to where technology is.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Musk is working on some crazy stuff with batteries, and I know several other companies are doing some crazy stuff. Samsung's doing some amazing stuff with batteries.
Screw that. I'm Team Musk all the way, man.
Yeah, and Samsung's batteries had a tendency to get them banned from the FAA and from flights there for a while too.
Right? Like,
But, you know, these companies are doing some amazing, amazing things with batteries.
Yeah.
And they're getting better. They're not there yet, but they're getting better and they're getting smaller.
Yeah. And with the glass, the battery was 2 inches long at the most. Like it was a bit bigger than a AA. And it just rests, it would rest right behind your ear. It was awkward. But considering what all the stuff that it could do, it was pretty amazing.
No, I fully agree with that statement. I mean, glass was amazing. And some of the other stuff that's coming out, there was a couple of Kickstarters that I've been kind of keeping in a half eye on, which is taking glasses frames and utilizing more of the frame than just the one side to spread out the technology a little bit more and to kind of give the same idea utilizing a full glasses frame. So instead of it looking like a futuristic thing, it looks like something you'd wear every day.
Yeah, that was one thing that hurt glass a lot, was it looks goofy. Just looked got awful goofy.
It really did. Which is why the phrase glass hole was utilized as much as it was.
I didn't care.
Whatever. It is what it is, right?
One of the things that really impressed me was the live video translation of written words. So I could look at something written in Spanish and have this translation app open, and it would show me a video view, but then it would have English overlaid where the Spanish words were in real life.
There's an app that you can get, at least an Android, that does the exact same thing. It's absolutely phenomenal. I used to have it. I don't think I have it anymore, but it's an absolute. It's really awesome to watch it work and how it works and the instant live translation, and we're starting to get closer and closer to that, even for audio. You know, with almost a live audio translations and stuff like that. I mean, Universal Translator is not that far away from being able to toss in an earbud in your ear, and it will auto dictate in any foreign words that come out. Now, speaking back in that language is a little more difficult to do, and I'm not sure you'd necessarily be able to do that.
Google Translate has some of that built in, and there's a conversation mode where it if I remember right, it does a talk to text, and then and then a text to talk. And the biggest complaint I've seen or heard is that it doesn't quite get inflections of things right. It doesn't get dialects right.
It doesn't get dialects, it doesn't get inflections, it doesn't get proper grammar, it doesn't get restructuring of grammar. Yeah, so but it structures, so if you're going English to language, it structures it the way the English would be spoken.
Yeah. But
instead of restructuring it the other way.
It's to the point where it's getting the point through. And I was able to have a bit of a discussion with somebody in a different language.
It's very obvious to that person that you're utilizing some sort of translation app.
No, it was in person. So we both knew what we were getting into, and we were, it was like,
oh, that's awesome.
It was like a, hey, let's try this kind of thing. And we were both kind of like, it's not perfect, but yeah, we know what's going on. Like, cool.
You can at least get basic conversational points across, and maybe find someone who translates, or maybe it's enough to where they're broken English or you're broken whatever language. It could work one way or another that way. I mean, the universal translator, going back to Star Trek tech, is happening. It's not far off, and it's coming closer and closer to being workable, usable.
Yeah.
And not just for translating instructions from Chinese into English. So, I mean,
there's a thing that I always think of when I think of translating, and I am getting to it really fast. The Babel fish.
Oh, the Babel, that was Hitchhiker's Guide, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
That's my, as much as I'm a Trekkie fan, I always default to the Babel fish. I'm like,
I don't care if you're a Trekkie or if you're a Star Wars guy, a Star Trek guy, a Firefly guy, a Doctor Who guy.
Yeah.
Hitchhiker's Guide series will hold a special place in all of our hearts. That is the one thing everyone could unite around and agree was the most brilliant piece of writing ever.
It's interesting how it all came together too, because he had the original trilogy sketched out, which is why it's a trilogy of 5 books.
Right.
And so the original trilogy is its own thing. And then when he wrote the other 2 and it became the trilogy of 5 books, that's different. Even the first 3 books are a bit different. And then they did a radio broadcast of it, of all 5. And that was different. And then they did a BBC TV show, like one of the crazy BBC miniseries things. And that was different.
Yeah.
And then the movie that came out in, 2003?
That actually wasn't a half bad movie.
That was a really good movie. And that was even different. Like every single version of that that's ever been released is different.
Yeah. No, Douglas Adams was amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah. Don't forget your towel, man.
Yep.
Just don't forget your towel.
Most of my screensavers just say don't panic.
Yeah, don't panic.
Yep.
The Volgons are absolutely amazing. Yeah, we could launch in and talk about Hitchhiker's Guide for hours.
We'll schedule that for a different episode.
Yeah, that going back to the universal translator stuff. That's just the implications there going forward is, it's breaking down more barriers. I mean, we have this wonderful internet that breaks down so many barriers, and then this is just the next step in that.
Yeah.
And
the way phones are getting now, being closer to, it's with them getting both smaller and or bigger. It's not going to be long before we just have stuff more built in. It won't take as much. And I can definitely foresee this badge being all I need. Like I have a processor and battery built right in there.
They sell them already. So this last year, a company was selling a Bluetooth comm badge that worked with your phone
I saw
as a
that.
Bluetooth. It was tappable. It attached through via magnetic. You put something on the back end of your shirt and it would magnetically stick right there. And it was a fully working, albeit it was a little expensive, which is why I don't own one. But it was a fully working comm badge, Bluetooth comm badge that connected into your phone.
I just saw them.
I know they were selling them on StarTrek.com through StarTrek.com for a while. I don't know how much they are now, if they're still available or not, but I took one look at those and I wanted it so badly. That was, to me, that was the quintessential, how cool would that be and how much of a geek would I look like tapping my shirt and having an open air conversation, which I don't necessarily like. I mean, we already do the Dick Tracy thing with the watches. So the next step was obviously going to be a wearable pin.
Yeah. $79.99 on ThinkGeek right now.
Oh, that came down in price then, because when it released, It was upwards over, it's like $200 or $250. I can't remember what it was. So those have come way down in price. That's affordable.
Yeah.
As a fun gimmick, that's really affordable. That'd be something you'd wear with a cosplay, just to step one step further.
What are you talking about? That's something I'd wear on like Tuesdays or any other normal day. Look at me right now, Dave. I am wearing an original series command uniform, footed onesie.
And I am wearing a t-shirt that has the NASA logo that says TARDIS across it with a police box.
I could see us just like being on two sides of a room and being like, boop. Hey Dave, how's it going, buddy?
Yeah, pretty much. Because that's exactly what we would do.
Yeah.
Because that's who we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, the communication through phones have gotten to the point where they're getting closer to communicators. We have badges that we can put on that interact with our phone. Hell, we've got tablets.
As much as I like,
I have a pad.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. As much as I like, as much as I love the comm badge idea, it is 100% only because it's a Star Trek thing. I already know open air conversation fails. Because
how many times do you get mad at people for walking around talking at their phones like this and having a phone conversation on speakerphone?
Yeah.
What?
No, and part of it is when you have something gimmicky that other people don't understand. I had so many people that would walk up to me and go, okay, glass.
Oh, yeah.
So much. And it becomes so easy to just kind of commandeer that. And we did that a couple episodes when I tried to order people toilet paper, which if anybody got some toilet paper, you forgot to let me know because I needed to know.
Yeah, no, I mean that hijacking that kind of technology is
also Burger King.
Oh yeah, they ruined it for everyone, didn't they?
We'll move on. Tablets. We're moving on to tablets.
Pads. I utilize my tablet a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah. Before the kid used mine, I used it like more than daily. It's like by the hour.
If Bluetooth headsets didn't look so damn creepy, I'd probably use a tablet semi-permanently instead of a phone.
Yeah.
But that honking thing, it screams douche in a way that I don't want to be associated with, so I don't utilize it.
So on that, I remember, I think it was the show Shark Tank years ago. Like one of it was probably one of the first seasons. I remember there was a guy that came on and he had this crazy Bluetooth device where you had to get an implant, like right here.
Yeah.
And then the little Bluetooth device was a bone conduction speaker and a microphone.
Yep, I do it.
So, yeah, I was like, I'd do that. And then they didn't, nobody bought into them. And I was so disappointed. Now I keep looking for it. And I'm like,
I would do that. And a buddy of mine has an NFC chip on in here on his palm.
Yeah.
That he uses for access to his house, for access to lots of stuff that he has. He utilizes NFC all the time, and he has an NFC chip. And that's his personal, that's how he does everything. And it's kind of amazing.
Huh.
And you can get bio-embedded NFC and RFID stuff.
Yeah.
I know that the medical community has been talking about doing the embedded RFID for storing patient records.
Yeah.
So that you always have your emergency medical records on you at all times, which is a great idea. I understand that there's going to be a lot of backlash of tagging and tracking. People who think that RFID can be tracked from satellites don't understand RFID technology. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
And, there's going to be the mark of the beast people that will have panic attacks about it. But if I remember correctly, they had panic attacks about barcodes when those came out. So, yes, we all have barcodes right now tattooed across our forehead. Because that's what we were told was going to happen. Anyway, it's just ways to do technology. I would definitely do an embedded Bluetooth. Because that, yeah, I would do that. And I have it power off my body. I mean, my body makes enough electricity. Just have it powered off of Biopower.
Well, and that's his design was there was essentially like a dock that was implanted into you, and then you pushed it and it would pop out, and you had to put it on an actual charger. But this was years ago, and I thought that was mind blowing. Yeah. I mean, I do that with my watch and my phone every day currently already.
Yeah, so. My phone goes on a charger at night. My watch goes off and goes on a charger at night.
Pop out my microphone.
Yeah, charge it up, pop it back in. And it's probably low power, so there's not a whole lot of worry about it shorting out, electrocuting you, because it's not going to be that much amperage anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd probably get more of electrical shock by sticking your tongue to a 9-volt battery, and that's a minor annoyance at best. Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's as long as science has been around, they've been emulating off of sci-fi.
Yep. And
it's you've got Jules going back even like Jules Verne and the stuff that he was writing about and he was talking about, we've been to the moon, we've created submarines based off of his visions, and this stuff happens for a reason, and science kind of catches up on some things, and in other things I'm still waiting for my hoverboard. And I'm not going to count these little two-wheeled machine things that you stand on that are segways without the handle. I don't count those as hoverboards.
Gyro board.
That is.
It's a gyro board. That's way different. Way different. It doesn't hover. It doesn't count if it doesn't hover.
No, those are Hitbuster 4000s.
Yeah. But there's somebody in our neighborhood that has one of those, and it sounds awful when it rides around, and she looks like she has trouble sometimes. Like she'll hit a little bump and then like stumble, and I'm like that wouldn't happen if you actually had a real hoverboard that didn't have wheels.
I stepped on one once and I spun almost 360 and went straight into a wall. And nobody was recording it, and I was very sad because that would have been genius. But I was like, okay, once you kind of got used to it a little bit, it was fine. It's just some balance, and you just kind of use your natural body weight and leans, and it's not bad. Yeah. But that initial response of it just thud, and that was it.
So we should see if we can procure a couple of those. Maybe have a gyroboard race.
Oh, we can have some fun with it.
Yeah, we go do 2 laps around. No, we do 4 laps around Headwaters. Gotta hack every portal and not fall off.
Oh man, that'd be almost impossible now. There's almost 40 portals around Headwaters.
Jeez. No, just the loop. Just the loop.
No, that is the loop.
That's the loop?
The loop is maybe not 40 in the loop.
Right, many.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I struggled to get
7,
those.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There might be 25 to 30, seriously, just in the loop.
Nice.
Including one near the middle now that you can wagon wheel out to everything else. Oh, yeah.
What's in the middle?
There's off kind of in the middle, off to one side, there was like some sort of a brick like standing area or something that was like a memorial to something. So we submitted it, we just kind of pushed it more to the middle. You can still catch it from the loop, but it kind of stands apart so that you can dang near wagon wheel all of Headwaters if you connect into it and out of it.
Nice.
It's kind of nice. It's kind of a good wagon wheel that way, but no, I mean, Star Trek, even Star Wars. I mean, we've got they're trying to model impulse engines off of the impulse drives from Star Trek, and for the slower than light but faster drive stuff. That's all coming from the world of science fiction, that science is trying to go, okay, we have an idea that we have an idea here, but how do we make it possible? And so they're trying to do a lot of those types of things just to make things possible.
We're getting there. I'm excited.
We are. It's getting there, and it may not happen everything in our lifetime, but the advances in our lifetime. I mean,
I don't think I'll see a warp drive. Although I'm still under the impression that I'm going to live for 1,000 years because I'm going to be able to replace things.
Look where we have gotten in just our lifetime, and I'm not even talking from when we were born. Even when we hit puberty, our adolescence forward.
Yeah.
I mean, we went from briefcase cell phones to this.
Having the whole world in your pocket.
Yeah. Even the advent of the internet. I mean, I remember dialing into bulletin boards.
That sound, man, is so ingrained in my brain, and I'm so sad that my kid will never know what that is.
My kids will know, because at 2:00 in the morning I'm going to blare that from the TV downstairs on repeat and loop. There are still several bulletin boards that are still up and operational. Mm-hmm. They've never changed. And I've thought about getting an old school modem and dialing into some of these old BBS systems, because some of these old bulletin boards, I don't like those. Yeah, that was a little redundant. But dial into some of them just so that I can show my kids what I experienced. Being able to dial in at 14.4K. I mean, that was a real
fast
thing. 14.4, I was the first one of my group of friends to have a 28.8 and a 56K modems. When I bought that 56K modem, I thought I was blazing on broadband.
Yeah.
It was so fast.
I was able to play Quake online. That blew my mind.
Quake and the original Unreal Tournament.
Yeah.
would connect in off a 56K modem.
Yeah. That was amazing. Those were good times, sir.
It was laggy as hell, but it worked.
Those were good times.
Yeah. So future, man. It's coming.
We're there.
Science fiction is just blazing a path, but that tricorder...
Somebody needs to focus on replaceable livers ASAP, because I want to start drinking again. I really do. I think that's one of the things holding me up. I need hot swappable livers.
Swappable livers.
Hot swappable. I don't want to have to take a nap to swap a liver out. I just want to be boop, open the door, old one out, fresh one in.
Or maybe a synthahol that would have all the effects of alcohol without destroying your liver in the first place. There you go. There's another thing Star Trek got right that we still need to have. I need a synthahol in my life.
The powdered alcohol. That's a thing.
I knew powdered alcohol is, but
I think it's synthesized.
Is it?
I believe so. I don't think it's I don't think it's pure distilled into a crystal. I think they synthesized it.
Nice.
It's there. You just
sweet.
Put a dash of powder in whatever drink. Boom.
Yeah.
First thing I do is put some in a Red Bull. Just skip everything.
Vodka and Red Bull. That sounds so good right now.
Dude, vodka and the cranberry Red Bulls.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Yeah. Flavored Red Bull with alcohol is the
so
best.
Good.
That's the only point of having flavored Red Bull.
Yep.
But anyway. Till next week.
Yellow 420 bros.
I'll catch you guys later.